boys and girls. Welcome to Math Lesson 3.7. Today we're going to be learning how to multiply with 1 and 0. So what you need to do before I begin this lesson, you need to have your Math Chapter 3 books with you and a pencil. So go ahead and pause the video and go get your Math Chapter 3 book and a pencil. Okay, go ahead and turn to page 177. Turn to page 177. Your page should look like mine. So we're going to learn how to multiply with 1 and 0. And I'm telling you, you are going to be math masters at multiplying with 1 and 0 by the end of this lesson. So let's start with unlock the problem. It says Luke sees 4 bird baths. Each bird bath has 2 birds in it. What multiplication sentence tells how many birds there are? Well, what are we looking for? Well, first of all, I see 2 clue words that tell me that I need to multiply. I have the word each, which is a huge clue word that tells me to multiply, and the words how many. We see the words how many in adding, but we know that adding and multiplication are related. And when we see the word each with how many, we know that we need to multiply. I also know that there are 4 bird baths, and there are 2 birds in each of those bird baths. So if I look at my questions over here, it says how many bird baths are there? Well, it told us in our problem that there are 4 bird baths. And how many birds did Luke see in each bird bath? 2. So they want us to look at this picture and they want us to write a multiplication sentence. So how many bird baths do we see in our picture? 4. And we see that there are 2 birds, which is represented by the X's, in each bird bath. And 4 times 2 is what? Well, I could count those X's up, or I could count by 2's. 2, 4, 6, 8. 4 times 2 is 8. Great job. Now they're telling us that 1 bird flies away from each of the bird baths. So they want us to cross out 1 bird from each bird bath and write a new multiplication sentence. So go ahead, first of all, cross out 1 of those birds from each of those bird baths. We don't even want to see one of those X's. So go ahead and do that. So right now, I only see 1 X in each bird bath. Remember, those X's represent birds. Well, do I still have the same number of bird baths? 1, 2, 3, 4. I do. I did not get rid of any bird baths. But I did get rid of the number of birds in each of those bird baths. So how many birds do I have in each of the bird baths now? 1. I have 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. So I have 1 bird bath, or 1 bird in each bird bath. Okay, so 4 times 1 is, well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So now I only have 4 birds. 4 bird baths, 1 bird in each bird bath equals a total of 4 birds. All right. Well, now they want us to cross out another bird in each bird bath and write a new multiplication sentence. Okay, so cross out that other X. We don't even want to see that other X. That bird flew away. So cross those X's out. Okay. Okay, how many bird baths do I have? Correct. I still have the same number of bird baths. I did not get rid of any bird baths. That has still remained the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. But now how many birds do I have in each bird bath? Remember? They flew away. So if you look up here, I cross those out because they're gone. Do I have any birds in that bird bath? I don't. I have 0 birds in each of those bird baths. We crossed them out because they flew away. So boys and girls, what do you think the total number of birds is? If I have 4 bird baths and there are 0 birds in each of those bird baths, how many birds do I have? If you said 0, you're correct. Good job. Well, it's asking me, how did the bird baths look now? Well, there's no birds in them. There's no birds in them. There are no birds in them. There are no birds in our bird baths anymore. So if I have 4 bird baths and there are 0 birds in each of the bird baths, I don't have any birds. The total number of birds is 0. All right, good job. Let's try some more. Go ahead and turn to page 178. 178. We're going to do this example at the top, and then we're going to learn some new vocabulary words. It says Jenny has 2 pages of bird stickers. Here's her 2 pages, 1 page, and then the second page is underneath that other one. There are 4 stickers on each page. How many stickers does she have in all? Well, I first off need to know my clue words, because although we know to multiply because it says that, there's going to be story problems that you're going to have to figure out what operation to use. So it's very important, boys and girls, that you recognize clue words. So I know the clue word each tells me to multiply, and the words how many. Okay, those 2 words together, those 2 clue words tells us that I need to multiply. I have 2 and I have 4. Okay, I have 2 pages. 1, 2, and I have 4 stickers on each page. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I know multiplication, there has to be 4 stickers on this page, because I know in multiplication, when we multiply, we have to have equal groups. Okay, so we're going to think 2 groups of 4. So Jenny has how many stickers in all? Well, you could do it 2 ways. You could count by 2s 4 times. You could add 4 plus 4. What do we get? How many stickers does she have in all? 8. Good job. Well, suppose that Jenny uses 1 page of the stickers. What fact shows how many stickers she has now? Well, if she only uses 1 page, so we don't even look at that second page down there. That doesn't even count. It's not even there anymore. She uses 1 page, and there are still 4 stickers on this page. So she still has 4 stickers on that 1 page. So I have 1 group of 4. How many stickers does she have? 1 group, so 1 page, and 4 stickers on that page. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. So Jenny has 4 stickers. All right. Then Jenny uses the rest of the stickers. What fact shows how many stickers she has now? Okay, well, if she doesn't have any more pages of stickers, she has 0 pages, right? She has 0 pages. She had 4 stickers on those pages. But how many does she have? How many stickers does she have now? 0. She used them all, boys and girls. She doesn't have any stickers now. She doesn't have any. So what does each number in 0 times 4 equals 0 tell you? Well, it tells me that the factor 0, so right here, this factor 0, tells me that there are no pages of stickers. We're going to talk about it. We're not going to write it down, so don't worry about writing anything down. We're just going to talk about it. So this tells me that 0, there's no pages of stickers. She used those pages. The 4 tells me that there were 4 stickers on each of the pages. And my product 0 tells me that there's no stickers. She used them. Remember, these two numbers right here are called factors. And the answer to multiplication is the product. Okay, is the product. Now, we're just going to talk about numbers 1 and 2 down here. We're just going to talk about these because I'm going to introduce you to our new vocabulary words. And you're going to hear these vocabulary words pop up throughout all of multiplication. So it's really important you understand and know these new vocabulary words. They're called properties. You know from addition, when we learned about addition, we learned about different properties. We learned about the commutative property, the identity property, and the associative property of addition. We have new properties in multiplication. The first one is called the identity property of multiplication, okay, of multiplication. It is the product of any number and the number 1 is that number. So I think of identity property, the I can look like a 1 and it's a 1. So any multiplication problem that has a 1 in it is the identity property of multiplication. Okay? Is the identity property of multiplication. So 9 times 1 equals 9. Any number times 1 is always that other number. Here's how I kind of think of it. 1 always loses. It never wins. It never wins in that answer. 1 always loses. So 9 times 1 equals 9 because 1 loses. That's the identity property of multiplication. Whenever there is a 1 in your as a factor, your answer is always that other number. So if I have 9 times 1 equals 9, let's say I have 10 times 1 equals 10 because 1 loses. What if I have 15 times 1? My answer is 15. What if I have 1 times 100? What is your answer? 100. What if I have 1,200 times 1? What's your answer? Boys and girls, it's 1,200 because 1 always loses. Okay, 1 always loses. The only time that it doesn't lose, and I'm going to show you down here, is 1 times 1. Well, guess what? 1 is here. Yes, it's still the identity property, but 1 has to be the winner in this one because it's the only factor you have. So 1 times 1 equals, well, 1. If I have one group and there's 1 in there, how many's in that group? How many do I have altogether? 1. That is the only time it wins. All right. The next vocabulary word that we're going to learn is called the zero property. The zero property of multiplication. Well, that's pretty easy to remember because the product of 0 in any number is 0. Remember how 1 always loses? Guess what? 0 always wins. 0 always wins. Any number times 0 is always 0. So 9 times 0 equals 0 because 0 always wins. All right, let's try some. What if I have 5 times 0? My answer is 0. What if I have 0 times 20? What's my product? 0. What if I have 2,000 times 0? Oh my goodness, can we do a problem that big? 2,000 times 0? Yeah, we can, because guess what? It's 0. 0 always wins, boys and girls. 1 always loses. 0 always wins. So 9 times 0 equals 0 because any product of 0 is always that other number. Any number times 0 is always 0. Any number times 1 is always the other number. So 1 always loses and 0 always wins. All right, let's go on to our next page. So you're on page 179. Let me straighten this up. Sorry, boys and girls. Let me get this straightened up. Okay, so we're on page 179 now. Let's go ahead and start with number 1. It says, what multiplication sentence matches this picture? Find the product. Okay, so they want us to look at this picture, and they want us to write a multiplication sentence based on this picture. Well, I see a bowl, and I see some apples in it. So the bowl represents the number of groups I have. How many groups do I have? Well, I only see one bowl, so I only have one group. And then I put an X there. That represents your multiplication sign. Now, how many apples do I have in that group? 1, 2, 3. I have 3 apples in that group. 1 times 3 equals, they want us to find the product. Remember, important word, product is the answer to multiplication. Well, what is 1 times 3? Remember from the identity property of multiplication that 1 always loses. So what's 1 times 3, boys and girls? 3. Yes, 3. Good job. So they want us to find the product in all of these problems, okay? I'm telling you, you're going to be a whiz at this, okay? Let's look at number 2. 5 times 1. 1 always loses, so my answer is 5. Good job. 0 times 2. Remember the 0 property? 0 always, you got it, wins. 4 times 0 is 0. 1 times 6 is 6. 3 times 0 is 0. Boys and girls, all that's saying is I have 3 groups and I have nothing in each group. Well, if I don't have anything in each group, I have 0. I have nothing. 1 times 2 is 2. 0 times 6 is, you are getting good at this, 0. And 8 times 1 is 8. Good job. I want you to do 10, 11, 12, and 13 right now on your own. I'm going to pause for just a minute so you can do those on your own. Go ahead and get started. Okay, let's check to see if you got the same answers that I get. 3 times 1 is 3. 8 times 0 is 0. 1 times 9 is 9. 0 times 7 is 0. Did you get those same answers that I got? If you did, give yourself a pat on the back. All right, now let's look at 14 through 21. Well, if I look at 14, I see something very strange about that. I see one factor, but I don't see the beginning factor. I'm missing a factor. And I see the product. You have to ask yourself, boys and girls, what number times 1 equals 15? What factor do you think I'm missing? What number times 1 equals 15? Yes, 15. Check your answer. Does 15 times 1 equal 15? Yeah, it does, because 1 always loses. Let's try 15. 1 times 28. What is 1 times 28? According to the identity property, any number times 1 is always that other number. So the answer is 28. 0 times 46. We know that any number times 0 is always 0. 36 times 0 is, you got it, 0. Here we go again. We're missing a factor. What number times 5 equals 5? What number times 5 equals 5? Well, let's think about it. If I put a 0 here, let's pretend I put a 0 there. 0 times 5, does that equal 5? Boys and girls, it doesn't. That would equal 0. What factor should I put there? If you said 1, you're exactly correct. 1 times 5 is 5. Look at 19. 19 times what number equals 0? Well, if my product is 0, I know that one of my factors has to be 0. 19 isn't 0, so I know this other factor has to be 0. 19 times 0 equals 0. What number times 0 equals 0? Guess what, boys and girls? It doesn't matter what number you put there. It doesn't matter because any number times 0 equals 0. So just for fun, I'm going to put 200. 200 times 0 equals 0. So if you put 15, you would still be correct. If you put 400, you would still be right because any number times 0 is always 0. Number 21, 7 times what equals 7? Well, I know that any number times 1 is always that other number. 7 times 1 is 7. That's like having 7 groups. 4, 5, 6, 7, and having 1 in each group. And if I added all of those up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I get 7. Good job. Let's look at these problems down below. It says Noah sets out 7 baskets at a farmer's market. Each basket holds 1 watermelon. How many watermelons does Noah set out? Well, first of all, I see some clue words. I see the word each and how many. And I know that when I see the word each, it triggers my memory that I need to multiply. I have 7 and 1. I have 7 baskets. So I have 7 baskets times 1 watermelon in each basket. If you need to draw a picture, go ahead and draw a picture. Draw 7 baskets. and put one watermelon in each of those baskets. How many watermelons do I have? Well, 7 times 1 is 7. You have 7 watermelons. You have 7 watermelons. If you need to draw a picture, boys and girls, draw a picture. If that helps you to figure out these problems, draw a picture. They want us to go deeper. It says Mason and Alexis each have 1 bag of marbles. There are 9 marbles in each bag. How many marbles do they have all together? Well, I see clue words. I see the word each. Here's each and how many. I know that I need to multiply. Well, what do I need to multiply? If it helps you, draw a picture. I know that I have Mason and Alexis. They each have 1 bag of marbles. So I'm going to draw a bag of marbles for Mason and a bag of marbles for Alexis. And it says that there are 9 marbles in each bag. So I'm going to put 9 marbles in each bag. Remember, when you draw your marbles or your counters, make sure they're nice, neat, and organized so you don't mess up with your counting. So go ahead and put 9 marbles in each bag. Okay, how many marbles do I have? Well, let's set up our multiplication problem. I have 2 groups. Because I have 2 bags of marbles, times there's 9 marbles in each bag equals, I know there's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 marbles. Good job. Let's look at number 24. Each box holds 6 black markers and 4 red markers. Derek has 0 boxes of markers. Write a number sentence that shows how many markers Derek has. Explain how you found your answer. Well, I know that each box holds 6 black markers and 4 red markers. So altogether, each box holds how many? How many markers? Well, 6 plus 4 equals what, boys and girls? 10. So I know they're trying to trick me by separating these markers, but I know that each box holds 10 markers. But Derek has 0 boxes. He has 0 boxes of the 10 markers. He has 0 boxes of the 10 markers. So how many markers does Derek have? Boys and girls, it says he doesn't have any markers because he has 0 boxes. So he can't have any markers. So your answer has to be 0. If Derek doesn't have any boxes of markers, he can't have any markers. They were trying to trick you, but I knew you were too smart for them. Yes, each box holds 6 black markers and 4 red markers, but he doesn't have any boxes. So if you don't have any boxes of markers, you can't have any markers. So he has 0 markers. Derek has 0 markers. Good job. We have one more page to go over. Turn to page 180. Number 25 says, at the circus, John saw 5 unicycles. How many wheels are on the 5 unicycles? Write a multiplication sentence. Okay, so I know he saw 5 unicycles. So that is going to be my first factor. Okay? My first factor is 5. He saw 5 unicycles. I need to go over to my frequency table because it's asking me how many wheels are on the 5 unicycles. So match the word unicycles over to your frequency table. Here it's unicycles. How many wheels does the unicycle have? 1. So my other factor is 1. 5 unicycles times 1 wheel on each unicycle equals what, boys and girls? How many wheels are there? 5 times 1 is 5. There's 5 wheels. There's 5 wheels. Okay, it says Julia used multiplication with 1 and the information in the table. The answer is 3. Oh goodness. It's kind of like the missing factor. So it's saying Julia used multiplication with 1. So whatever let's set up the multiplication problem. I know one of the factors, remember you have 2 factors and your equal sign. I know one of the factors is 1. And I know my answer is 3. So I can put my answer as 3. So I know one of the factors and my answer is 3. What's my other factor? Well, I don't know. It says she uses the multiplication table. Julia used multiplication with 1 and the information in the table. Okay, 1 times what number equals 3? Well, come over here. If she used this table, what number times 1 will equal 3? 3. 3, the tricycle. So my other factor is 3. So she used the tricycle. So how many wheels are on one tricycle? That's probably the question she wants to ask. How many wheels are on one tricycle? So you can write that. How many wheels are on one tricycle? It's asking us to find the question that they want to answer. How many wheels are on one tricycle? Well, one tricycle times 3 wheels equals 3 wheels. All right, let's look at number 27. It says, Brian saw some circus vehicles. He saw 17 wheels in all. If 2 of the vehicles are cars, how many vehicles are bicycles and tricycles? Okay, so Brian saw some circus vehicles. He saw 17 wheels in all. If 2 of the vehicles are cars, how many vehicles are bicycles and tricycles? That's a lot of information to find out. So I know that he has a total of 17. So I have to reach 17, boys and girls. If 2 of the vehicles are cars, okay, so I have 2 are cars times how many wheels? How many wheels does cars have? 4. So 2 times 4 equals what? What is 2 times 4? 2 times 4 is 8. Very good. So right now, I know that I have 8 wheels, but I need to get to 17. So how many wheels do I have to get yet? Well, let's do a subtraction problem. 17 minus 8 is what? 17 minus 8 is 9. Good job, 9. Boys and girls, I still have bicycles and tricycles, but I can only have 9 more wheels. Well, let's go up to our chart. I know that tricycles have 3 wheels each, and bicycles have 2 wheels each. So what could I do? What could I do? Well, let's figure this out. I could do 2 tricycles, so let's try 2 tricycles. What is 3 plus 3? If I have 2 tricycles, 3 plus 3 equals what, boys and girls? 6. And I know I have to have a bicycle. So I need to get to 9. My number I need to reach is 9. Well, 1 bicycle would be 2 more. 6, 7, 8, that would be 8. Well, I need to get to 9. So let's add another bicycle. 8 plus 2 is, oh no, that's 10. That's not going to work. I can't do that. I went over the number of wheels I saw. So that will not work. I cannot have 2 tricycles. So let's try 1 tricycle. 1 tricycle has how many wheels? 3. So I have 3 wheels. Okay, so now 9 minus 3 equals 6. Okay, so I have 6 more wheels to have. So I have 3 wheels from 1 tricycle. How many bicycles can I have? I need to reach 6 now. So 1 bicycle is 2 plus 2 equals 4. Okay, so now I have 7 wheels. I need to get to 9. Can I add another bicycle? Let's try it. Plus another bicycle would be 4 plus 2 equals 6. So these are my B. I'm going to put a B for bicycle. This is for my tricycle. So I have 3 plus 6. Well, what is 3 plus 6, boys and girls? What is 3 plus 6? 9. I reached my number, 9. Okay, so I can have 1 tricycle and 3 bicycles. So Brian saw some circus vehicles. He saw 17 wheels in all. 2 of these were cars, which we got. And then 1 was a tricycle and 3 bicycles. Because I know that 9, my 1 tricycle and my 3 bicycle equals 9 wheels. I know that 9 plus 8 equals 17. Good job. That one was a tough one to figure out. Okay, our next one is 28. It says write a word problem that uses multiplying with 1 or 0. Show how to solve your problem. Well, let's come up with a problem. And it can be any problem, boys and girls. You don't have to do the same problem that I do as long as you show how it multiplies with 1 and 0. So we're going to say, let's use the word Bob. The name Bob. Bob gave each friend, each of her, let's say each of his, let's say 5 friends, 1 toy. So Bob gave each of his 5 friends 1 toy. How many toys did he give away? How many toys did he give away? I don't know. It wants us to solve our problem. So I have Bob. He gave each of his 5 friends times 1 toy. So how many toys did he give away? 5 times 1 equals 5. He gave 5 toys away. He gave 5 toys away. Good job. All right, last one. Think smarter. Says for numbers 29a through 29d, select true or false for each multiplication sentence. You have to do all of these. So if I look at 29a, it says 6 times 0 equals 0. Is that true, boys and girls, or false? Does 6 times 0 equal 0? Yes, it does. Remember from the 0 property that 0 always wins. So my answer is true. My answer is true. I'm not sure why it's not showing up. All right. We'll circle it. 29b says 0 times 9 equals 9 times 0. Is that true? Is that the commutative property of multiplication where I can take 2 factors and flip-flop those factors and still get the same product? 0 times 9 is the same as 9 times 0? Is that true, boys and girls? You could figure it out. 0 times 9 is 0 equals 9 times 0 is 0. Is that true? Yeah, that's true. That one is true as well. That's the commutative property of multiplication. Let's go on to 29. 1 times 0 equals 1. Uh-oh. 1 times 0 equals 1. What do you think, boys and girls? Remember from the identity property that 1 always loses, unless it's multiplied by itself. And 0 always wins. Did 0 win? Nope, it didn't. That is not true. So that, boys and girls, is false. Because 1 times 0 is 0. And 29d. 3 times 1 equals 3. Is that true or false? Well, I know from the identity property of multiplication that any number times 1 is always that other number. If you don't know or you're unsure, draw a picture. 3 groups, 1 in each group. How many do I have all together? 1, 2, 3. That answer is true. Boys and girls, you did an awesome job today. You did an awesome job today. Don't forget how important it is for you to know these properties. Let's look at them one more time. The identity property of multiplication means the product of any number any number, and 1 is that number. So 1 always loses. Any number times 1 is always the other number. And the 0 property. The 0 property is the product of 0. And any number is 0. Any number times 0 is always 0. 0 always wins. 1 always loses and 0 always wins. Great job, boys and girls. Go ahead and rewatch this video if you need to. I know you guys are going to be multiplication masters.